What's going on, guys? A bit of a different video planned for today. We're taking a break from the Toyotas because I was at work the other day and I came across this air compressor that was abandoned. No, I didn't steal it. It was in the garbage can, ready to be hauled away, and I figured, you know what, why not try and give this thing some more life. It does relate to the Toyotas in a way because I have a lot of projects that I've been wanting to do that I couldn't do because I didn't have a decent sized compressor. I've been wanting to bedline the bed of the Tacoma. I've been wanting to spray paint on the canopy for the Tacoma. I'd love to get a sandblaster so that I could sandblast parts and give parts new life as well. Yeah, and a lot of those things you can't do without a good sized compressor. This thing is not huge by any means. 20-gallon tank, does 6.3 CFM at 40 PSI. Not a giant compressor by any means. Heck of a lot bigger than what I have right now because I have a teeny tiny little guy over there in the corner just for filling tires and whatnot. But this would be a heck of a lot better than that. I did plug it in and try running it, and at first the motor just kind of buzzed, and sometimes it would blow the breaker and it just didn't really have enough power to turn the engine over. I cranked the engine over by hand, handful of times, seemed to loosen it up a little bit, and it did fire up okay and run. But there's all kinds of janky stuff going on with this thing. Missing a wheel on the backside. This drain plug is not even the right size. It's just got a ton of thread tape on there, and it barely holds the oil. Who knows what's going on here with this wiring. It did seem to build pressure. I did manage to get it up to full. So what I want to do is I want to start this thing up, and I want to see how long it takes to fill up completely. What seemed to be the big issue was the motor doesn't really want to crank it over. I kind of have to help get it started, and it really doesn't like to crank over when the tank is pretty full, you know, 80-90 psi when it's supposed to kick in. So from my research, I think that's a start capacitor issue, which those are pretty cheap, so I bought one. And yeah, we're gonna clean this thing up, do some maintenance on it, put the start capacitor in, make it look nice and good. Yeah, so let's get started. First thing I want to do is get rid of this crappy drain plug, put some fresh compressor oil in it, and see how long it takes to get up to full pressure. Alright, so to my knowledge, a compressor with a tank this size and CFM rating should probably take roughly about 5 minutes to hit full pressure. I want to see how close we get to that and see if we can improve upon that at the end of the video. Alright, so 7 minutes and 15 seconds took us to 125 PSI. No leaks, and the pump seems to be running relatively strong. I think we're still gonna rip this thing apart, clean it up real nice. I'm gonna cut some new gaskets for these heads, get some new air filters in each side, clean it up real nice, make it look brand spanking new, and hopefully have it run like it's brand spanking new. so we've got this gasket is broken. Half of it is on this side, half of it is over here. And here is our air filter. Looks like it's seen some better days. That thing is dense with crap inside of it. This is just like a nylon Scotch-Brite pad. Just trying to get rid of the old gasket material with this and any kind of imperfections. I wouldn't go polishing the heads on your truck with this thing, but for something like this, should be just fine. I don't have any sort of torque spec for this. I'm just gonna slowly take it up to 10 and then I'll take it up to about 20 foot-pounds. Not that it matters too much. I just want to get everything torqued down relatively evenly. Alright, so I picked up some wheels from Princess Auto, which if you don't know what Princess Auto is, it is Harbor Freight for Canadians. since we don't have Harbor Freight up here. Here's what the old wheels looked like, and here's how they were put on. They are just a nut welded onto the shaft to keep the wheel in place. When I stick the wheel on, I don't even have enough shaft sticking out to weld a nut onto there. But I think I'm just gonna weld a bolt to the end of this shaft, and then I can thread a nut onto there and we'll be good to go. Alright, so I've got the start capacitor for this motor here. I'm going to change that out because I think that is probably what's causing it to struggle to start up, especially when the tank is almost full. So yeah, I'm going to change that out and we'll put this whole thing back together. Alright, so last time we tested this thing out, it took 7 minutes and 15 seconds to get up to full pressure, 125 psi. So we are going to do the test again, see if any of these things I did improved it, and see if we can call it a success. Alright, well, I think we can call that a success. 4.5 minutes compared to over 7 minutes. I think that's probably a 25-30% increase. So I will take it. This thing seems to be running great. From all the research I've done, I think 4.5-5 minutes is what something like this should fill up at brand new. So I really think we've done a good job of this thing. All of my plugs are 15 amp except for the 2 plugs on my bench here. So these two are 20 amp plugs, so I want this thing on one of my 20 amp plugs. So I'm gonna put this thing right under here. I'll put a hole through my my bench so the cord can go right up to the plug. Well, there we are, guys. Compressor is in place under the workbench. Cord is ran up to my 20 amp plug. I am just so impressed with how this turned out. The paint makes it look almost brand new. And to be honest, I kind of like this weathered looking label on it. Gives it some character. This feels like a tremendous success. I have been wanting a compressor for so long, and I just haven't had the money to fork out for a brand new one. Having this one and getting it for free feels so good. Anyways, guys, if you're new here, this is not exactly what we normally do on this channel. We mostly spend our time working on older Toyotas, late 90s, early 2000s Toyotas. I love Toyota 4x4s, so that's what I spend most of my time doing, but the occasional project like this feels good to do as well. If you liked the video, please leave a like and a comment. We've got a lot planned for the Tacoma and the 4Runner especially. So if you're interested in that type of content, please consider subscribing. Thanks again for watching. See you guys next time.